Hey neighbor, how are you? It's good to see you again. We're back at it for another exciting day of local television on a drop-dead gorgeous Thursday morning. This is the 7th day of November, 2019. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. Feeling pretty good. Still got a little bit of a residual buzz from last night, from the soccer game. What a great game. The Wenatchee Panthers and the East Wildcats. Rivals, yes. Friends. Yes, these two teams in soccer, girls soccer, they know each other. They've been playing against each other at club level and youth league for years and years and years. And last night, the saga continued. It was for the District 6 4A championship. Eastmont won in a very dramatic fashion. We were there. We had a lot of people watch it on Facebook. A lot of people watched it on our stream and, of course, on television. Incredible soccer match last night between the Panthers and the Wildcats. We got highlights coming your way when we get to sports. It is, of course, a huge day in the world of local sports because the Bridge of Sportsmanship game is tonight. It's always a big game when the Panthers and the Wildcats do battle. It's bigger than normal this year. The stakes are very, very high. We will preview the Bridge of Sportsmanship game, which is tonight at 7 o'clock at Wildcat Stadium in East Wenatchee. We will, of course, have the game for you live. We'll have a preview during sports, and in the back half of the show, during the interview segment, Eric had a chance to sit down with head coach Michael Don of the Eastmont Wildcats and head coach Scott Devereaux of the Wenatchee Panthers to preview tonight's game. It's going to be a rock'em sock'em football war between these gridiron giants. It's going to be a lot of fun. And by the way, get your tickets in advance. I cannot stress this enough. You got to get your tickets in advance. It's the only way to do it because you're going to be standing in line a long time if you don't, because you got to buy your ticket and then you have to get inside. If you buy your ticket in advance, and you can do that at either school's athletic department office up until about 10 o'clock this morning. There's a cutoff sometime today. I want to say it's about 10 o'clock. So that way you only have to stand in one line as opposed to two. It's just a good idea. It'll be a packed house tonight. Great atmosphere. We're looking forward to that. Lots going on today. It's Thursday. We got kennel cameos. Shasta the dog needs a home. We'll check in with that. We got a lot of news to get to. It was a busy day at the news department, as you might imagine, plus all the shenanigans that you're so used to. And we'll remind you that you have a chance to win some ticket vouchers to see the Wenatchee Wild, their rivals, their biggest rivals in the British Columbia Hockey League, or the Penticton V's. They're going to be in town tomorrow night and Saturday night. You don't have to use these tickets for Friday or Saturday. You can use them anytime you want during the regular season. They're ticket vouchers, not tickets themselves. Stay close for that to see if we can give those babies away. We have a gorgeous, gorgeous morning, 30 degrees, lots of sunshine. Let's take you around the valley with our Valley View cameras, courtesy of Localtel Sky-Fi. High-speed wireless. Sun is up. It's been up for about 11 minutes. It came up at 6:53 this morning. Sunset tonight, 4:35. That gives us 9 hours and 42 minutes of daylight. Beautiful day yesterday. 56 degrees. Not going to be that warm today because it's a little bit cooler. It's 30 degrees outside of our studios. So we're not going to get up to 56, but we're going to have some very nice weather. But we still have that air stagnation advisory. Goes through tomorrow. Could even be extended right into the weekend. We don't have, there's very limited movement of the air mass up there. This high pressure ridge, which has been dominating our weather for about the last week, is just ginormous and very well entrenched. It will eventually be breaking down over the weekend, but between now and then, we could be dealing with some dirty air. Gorgeous view of the Wenatchee and East Wenatchee area, the lifeblood of North Central Washington. From this point forward, I don't know. It's Megan's choice. She gets to decide, and I have to guess. Well, that's a no-brainer. That's the Yomi Gardens camera. Great shot there, looking down. Basically, that's almost the exact opposite, 180 degrees from our cross camera. You can't quite make out the cross camera, but it's about at the same elevation, maybe a little bit lower. And, of course, it's pointing almost directly south as we see the mighty Columbia roll on, and the sun's starting to get the job done over the East Wenatchee bench. Good morning to our friends in the Wenatchee Landing area in the greater East Wenatchee area. Camera number 3. I can't wait to what we're going to. I'm enjoying these views. Oh, wow. Megan threw me for a loop. You're going to have to help me out on this one, Megan. That's the Rock Island camera. Oh, and okay. The Rock Island camera has been moved in a rather dramatic way. So I can see that little sliver of the Columbia down there in the lower left-hand corner, and then as it winds its way around. That's a cool view of the Rock Island camera. Congratulations to Randy Agnew, by the way, re-elected mayor of Rock Island. It wasn't too hard. He wasn't opposed. That's the easiest way to run an election, have nobody to run against you. Pretty much guarantees you're going to serve another 4 years. Thank you, and good morning to our friends at Rock Island. Now, camera number 4. Let's go say hello to, is that Lake Wenatchee? Yay, the Two Rivers camera up there at Lake Wenatchee. Now, these cameras are designed to go to black and white when it gets dark so we can still see things, and then it switches to color when it's light enough to allow the color to saturate the lens. But obviously, it's not bright enough up there at Lake Wenatchee. Look at the clouds and the fog just laying over Lake Wenatchee. Gorgeous view there. That's our Two Rivers camera way up at the very top of Lake Wenatchee. We can turn that around and we shoot right up the White River Valley. We turn it down that way and we're looking over the greater Lake Wenatchee area. Some stunning views this morning. And again, all of these courtesy of Localtel's Sky-Fi high-speed wireless. It's a cool thing. You can have high-speed wireless almost anywhere that you can see one of our towers, and you don't need fiber. Give Localtel a call. Let's take a look at your weather forecast from our friends at Patriot Plumbing and Heating and Cooling. They give your home a hug. Again, a couple more days of at least of dry and stable. No wind, no rain of any kind, really. Could see a stray raindrop Saturday afternoon on a Sunday. It's the chance of precipitation is so weak that we're not even going to mention it. But again, that air stagnation advisory remains in effect. There's your air quality concerns. No place for the pollutants to go. The lid is on. The air mass has to be mixed up in the upper elevations to clean out the air. It hasn't happened yet. We need just wind. We need any kind of system to stir things up. But none of that has happened yet. Hopefully it'll happen sometime soon, but we've also haven't had really bad air either. So it's kind of been, we still have that advisory, but the air quality in the Wenatchee Valley hasn't really been that bad. The air stagnation advisory remains in effect until noon tomorrow. I would not be surprised if they extend that into the weekend. We do have a weak weather disturbance, by the way, that's coming our way over the weekend as we go back to our forecast from our friends at Patriot Plumbing. So there you go, lots of sunshine today. Going to be chilly tonight at Eastmont Stadium. Be prepared. You know, heavy jacket, long underwear, whatever the case may be if you're heading out to the football game tonight. Tomorrow, we repeat it all over again. This pattern has been going on for quite some time. And then a weak weather disturbance has the potential to come in and give us a little bit of light rain on Saturday. Don't bet on it. Certainly warmer conditions. And the reason we're going to warm up a little bit, the air is going to be warmer, certainly from this weak system that's coming in as the high pressure ridge finally begins to break down. But the real key here is the cloud cover is going to hold the heat in the overnight hours. So our overnight lows are going to be quite mild for this time of the year. Our normal overnight low is about 33, 34, so we'll be normal for the next couple of days, and then we'll have warmer overnight lows for the weekend. No precipitation at all in the forecast. Maybe Monday night, maybe. We'll know more by tomorrow. Of course, Monday is also Veterans Day. A lot of people will have Monday off. So all in all, typical November weather, lots of sunshine. We haven't had any precipitation at all this entire month. And we had a pretty wet October and a very cold October. No complaints here. It's going to be a beautiful night tonight for football. 8 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have your Thursday morning news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We're broadcasting live this morning from Studio 1 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life Channel.
My name's Tashina, and I live in Chelan. I've been a CVCH patient for several years. The thing that I love about CVCH the most is like everybody knows everybody. That's just a really kind of special thing, is kind of takes that phobia of being in the clinic away. I would just tell all the CVCH staff that they're doing great, and thank you for making us feel comfortable, and you guys are always there for us, and the whole staff checks in on us, and we really appreciate it.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
We're back 10 minutes after the hour on this Thursday. Clear skies and 30 degrees outside of our studios. Lots of sunshine today, lower 50s. Lots of sunshine Friday. Highs will be in the lower 50s. We warm up and cloud up for the upcoming weekend. Here's what's making headlines. State troopers say one person killed yesterday morning in a 3-car crash in Douglas County. It happened around 6:30 yesterday morning. State Route 28, milepost 4. This is about 3 miles east of East Wenatchee. 55-year-old Michael Troy Ashbrook of Wenatchee killed when he tried to pass another car in a no-pass zone and then struck another vehicle. The accident caused traffic delays, as you might imagine, with the two vehicles ending up on one shoulder of the road, another on the other shoulder of the road. Also injured in the crash was 44-year-old Tyson Joe Chick of Wenatchee, who was transported by ambulance to Central Washington Hospital. Well, the Douglas County Sheriff's deputies say a 21-year-old man carried a shotgun while walking around Waterville on Sunday and threatened to kill a 15-year-old boy for sleeping with his wife. Dylan O'Gara Smith booked into the Okanagan County Jail this week after he allegedly made a threatening phone call to the teen and then walked the streets of Waterville with a 12-gauge pump shotgun. Deputies say he admitted to carrying the shotgun and ammunition. They may also seek charges against his 20-year-old wife for alleged sexual contact with the 15-year-old victim. Well, speaking of Douglas County, the Douglas County Sheriff's Office say one man has been arrested. Another man is being sought for a Saturday morning burglary at Palisades, the school specifically. Tools, an air compressor, fuel, and a school bus were taken after a window was broken to gain entry into the maintenance building. Arrested, 27-year-old Devin R. Taylor of East Wenatchee. They are still looking for 19-year-old Jordan S. McCullough Cheney of Wenatchee. The Sheriff's Office said the two were identified using video footage from the stolen bus. The bus was left abandoned alongside Palisades Road in the 1400 block, and that led to the call to the Sheriff's Office at 7:36 on Saturday morning. Palisades is a two-room school serving about 25 students from kindergarten through the 5th grade. More crime news this morning. A 16-year-old boy who was arrested in an August armed robbery at Ernie's grocery store. He pled guilty Tuesday to counts of second-degree robbery, drug possession, and aiming a firearm. Chelan County Court Commissioner Tracy Brandt ordered the youth to spend 80 to 100 weeks in state juvenile detention, plus a year's supervision upon release. The youth was one of two masked suspects who held the loan clerk at gunpoint. The thieves took $763 from the cash register. They fled on foot. When arrested, the 16-year-old had what police called a significant quantity of LSD wrapped up in over $300 in cash. The second suspect, by the way, has not been identified. Well, it's 10 years old now. The Wenatchee Town Toyota Center has had its ups and downs financially, but according to Wenatchee Mayor Frank Kuntz, as of late, the current financial situation at the Town Toyota Center is solid.
Obviously, the Town Toyota Center got refinanced about a little bit over 7 years ago. They got a 2/10 tax increase from the city, a 1/10 from the region, went out and repaid off bonds. Ever since then, obviously taxes have increased in our region as the communities continue to grow, so we've seen some good tax revenues. So a couple things have happened is obviously we continue to make the payments to the bondholders, and that's all been well and good. The city, during the first 2 or 3 years of operation, had loaned the Town Toyota Center some $5.5 million. As of about 4 weeks ago, that's been paid off. So the city's been fully reimbursed the $5.5 million that it loaned the facility. So now the facility is going forward, and it will continue to sort of accumulate some of this additional tax revenue. It will have to sit in a fund to pay off the bonds. So as I've said this three times, you know, we did 30-year bonds, but most likely if things continue the way they're going, they'll probably be paid off in 20 years or so as the tax revenue around the area has gone up. The other thing we continue to get is the .033, which is a rebate from the state of Washington. That money has been used to cover operating losses. The facility's never going to make money, and that .033 is around $1 million a year. So it covers operational losses, and then we set the difference aside in savings accounts. So we've got over $1 million in the savings account, $1.2 million or so, which is good because when the scoreboard went out, that was a $650,000 or so redo.
Which we talked about here on the news, yeah.
So to redo all the ribbon boards and all that. So we were excited that we had the money set aside to be able to literally write a check for that. The concerns we go forward is, you know, these chillers and the things that make the ice cold, you know, we maintain them according to the manufacturers, all that sort of stuff. We're doing the best we can. Yet, if those go, that's $1 million or more, $2 million.
All of these things are unbelievably expensive, aren't they?
Yeah, and you know, the roof is in good shape and some of those sorts of things. So, you know, the building is over 10 years old now, and so we're starting to see what a 10-year-old building looks like. We're doing the best we can to set aside money for future stuff, and so I think, you know, the fact that we had the money for the scoreboard is, I think, a good sign, and we're just continuing to how to work our way through it.
More news on this Thursday. Total home sales for the month of October in the Wenatchee market way up compared to last year. Active listings compared to last year, however, way down. The latest findings from Pacific Appraisal Associates in Wenatchee shows there were 114 sales for the month of October. That's this year compared to 84 sales in 2018. That's a 36% rise. However, this past October, there were 165 active home listings. That's down 24% from October of last year when there were 218 listings. Year-to-date sales over the same period last year are dead even. Both the median and average sale prices of a home in the Wenatchee market continues to rise. The median sales price of a home just over $348,000. That's up 6%. The average sales price is up 5% to just over $374,000. And finally this morning, a record-breaking fundraiser at the 6th Annual Wellness Place Gala Auction. It was last Friday. Supporters exceeding their goal of $90,000 raised for Wellness Place. The auction was held on Friday at the Local Events Center at the Pybus Public Market. The group offers free support and services to cancer patients and survivors in the four-county area, Chelan, Douglas, Grant, and Okanagan. The newly appointed executive director of Wellness Place, Julie Lindholm, said the need for services has increased along with the number of cancer cases in the region. She shared that in 2018, Wellness Place provided over $20,000 in gas cards alone to patients who needed assistance to get to treatment. And that's your news. At 17 minutes after the hour, as it always is around here at the Broadcast Metroplex, we'll have another busy news day in the newsroom, in the bullpen, to preview tonight's evening news. Here's the anchor, Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, we'll have reaction to Initiative 976, the card tab issue. We'll introduce you to Shasta the Siberian Husky in our Kennel Cameos feature. I'll have your complete North Central Washington weather forecast, and Eric Granstrom will have a complete look at tonight's Bridge of Sportsmanship football game between Wenatchee and Eastmont. All that and much more coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. Hope you'll join us then. Dan?
Thank you, Grant. We appreciate it. That's right. There's a football game tonight. Okay. Go to game. A little reminder of myself. Hey, if you can't make it to the game tonight, and again, we always encourage people to go to Wildcat Stadium and enjoy the atmosphere and enjoy these two rivals and friends do battle. But again, if you can't make it for whatever reason to Wildcat Stadium tonight, you can watch the game live right here. 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff. And don't forget to get a hold of us. We'd love to hear from you. Look at the bottom of your screen. Write it down. Those are all the different ways. We got it all for you. You can use the internet and get a hold of us via our Facebook page, our website at ncwlife.com, or our email address, news@ncwlife.com. You can pick up the telephone and give us a call. You can stand on the roof of your house with a bullhorn. Although my guess is law enforcement will probably pay you a visit. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we got sports, including highlights of one of the great soccer matches ever played in this neck of the woods between two high schools. Highlights from Wenatchee and Eastmont soccer from last night. When we come back with sports, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hey, this is Sean from The Walk, and we're doing a major remodel in Wenatchee. So come on up to Leavenworth and get your walk on. We'd be happy to see you up there. The Walkabout Grill, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner, where eating out is eating healthy.
At some point, we realized that value and practicality go hand in hand. A time when an unnoticed accumulation of items has become burdensome. These possessions still have value, but now lack usefulness. Donate your unwanted items to Goodwill and become a job creator. Your donations allow Goodwill to provide much-needed training to job seekers in our community, and that's pretty useful for everyone. Be a job creator. Donate. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
We are back in this Thursday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. Of course, the Eastmont Wildcat ladies soccer team won the Columbia Basin Big Nine regular season title last night. They followed that with the district championship, a 2-1 shootout win over their rivals, the Wenatchee Panthers. A high-stakes drama throughout the contest. The game was scoreless at halftime. All the goals scored in the second half. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wiesen, the Simon and Garfunkel of local soccer announcers, had the call right here on the NCW Live channel.
Shot into the box, cleared away. Nope. Play continues. Fisher, goal! Goal! Eastman Wildcats! Schoengarth, Sanchez Blanco, chipper, and a beautiful shot that goes in, shocking everybody. We're tied at 1. Hallie Stegman for the Wenatchee Panthers. Matt Wisen.
Yeah, just one of those funky balls that gets hung up there, and everyone thinks it's going over the goal and just finds its way in the back top corner. We've seen that happen a couple times this year, and this is the Wenatchee Eastmont game, so what can you say?
Anything can happen when these two get together. Eastman, the ball by Chandler to Brown. Brown on a 1-and-3. Brown, right-footed shot coming, and the beautiful stop by Nia Hughes. And there's the whistle that tells us that we're going to overtime it. Her marker, into the box she goes. Is she going to go across? And it sailed past. It sailed past Nia Hughes. Now the second half starts. The second overtime period, I should say. Gross Didier battling. Cleared away. Brown. Brown with some room. Enters the box. Brown. Over the crossbar. Unbelievable. Matt Wisen. What happened there?
Sometimes the easiest looking shots are the toughest. And there we are.
And there we are. We're going to the penalty kick shootout. Whistle is there. Chandler. And Miss Hughes came this close, Matt Wisen.
Got a good read on that and great jump, and just nicked it. Just couldn't get quite enough.
All right. Smith, the shot straight up the middle. We're tied at 1. Brown and Hughes. Hughes and Brown. There's the whistle. The run, the shot, and it sails over the crossbar. Stegman, number 3 on her back. Short run up. Right footed kick. Beautifully taken. Sparks. There's the whistle. Sparks. Hesitation. Right footed shot. Sparks. Goal. And now it's Maddie Smith. Smith and the stop. The stop by Cora Fry. Splendid stuff by both goalkeepers. Heimbigner. Right footed again. Heimbigner. Right footer, beautifully taken by, looked like Eckert from up here. Fisher, deep breath. Slow run up, the shot! And the stop. Amazing stuff.
Way to stay with that ball.
Amazing stuff. What presence of mind by the Wenatchee goalkeeper. The 5th kick. And a score gives Wenatchee the shot, and it sails over the crossbar. The shot, and it sails past the stretched hands of Miss Hughes. And now we'll see the obligation of Wenatchee is to score on this one. The shot, goal! What a shot! What beautiful shot by Wenatchee that time.
Just in the one spot Cora couldn't save it. She read that and had to jump on it.
Whistle on the play. Right-footed shot, and the stop by Miss Hughes. Sanchez Blanco. 4-4 tied. The shot and the stop by Cora Fry. Ellie Little. A goal gives Eastmont the lead. Little. Right footer. The shot. Little. No problem for Little. The shot. Bowman. Oh, sails wide. And Eastmont have won the district title and will advance outright to state. What an evening of soccer. What a definition. What a thriller between these two teams.
Our job was to just be defensive and make sure that we weren't trying to play pretty in overtime. It was just clear the ball away. When it comes down to it, we have Cora Fry and 5 finishers. And today it was 8. So, Cora kept us alive, and the next person that typically doesn't practice PKs stepped up and put them away. So I don't think I ever had a doubt of that we weren't going to win this game.
Yeah, the highlights didn't do it justice. It was just an epic match. For the Wildcats, of course, they move on. They have a state playoff game next week. We don't know who they're going to play yet. Now, the Wenatchee Panthers, they still have another shot to get to state. On Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock at Leibofta Field at the Apple Bowl, they will play the winner of today's game between Davis and Moses Lake. Well, 12 weeks ago, the high school football programs around the state, they gathered for practice. All the schools had one goal in mind. That's win a state championship. Well, you know, those aspirations for most teams realistically unreachable, but not the case for the two high schools here in the Wenatchee Valley. Eastmont, the defending Big Nine champions, they were fresh off a 9-3 season, playing in their first ever state playoff game. Wenatchee 6-4 last year. They knew it had a lot of talented kids coming back, a lot of experience coming back this year. Now here we are, 3 months later. These two teams will meet for the Bridge of Sportsmanship, and those hopes and aspirations of a state championship still alive. Wenatchee win would give the Panthers the outright Big Nine championship and a number 1 seed to state. An Eastmont win would force a 3-team playoff Saturday in Moses Lake between the Panthers, the Wildcats, and the Sunnyside Grizzlies. The big question looming over tonight's game is whether all-league running back Nate Blauman is going to be able to play. So Eric Granstrom asked Coach Scott Devereaux, is Nate Blauman going to be able to play?
We'll find out a little more today. He practiced a little bit yesterday, but he wasn't full speed. So, you know, it might be a game-time decision.
What exactly happened, or do you know what happened?
I know what happened. Yeah, I know what happened. He strained his hamstring, and, you know, he couldn't play Friday. It happened on Thursday, and he's come along pretty well in the rehab.
I know you used Jax, you used Ty a little bit in the backfield on Friday night at Walla Walla. Your team looks a lot different without Nate back there, that's for sure.
Yeah, you know, he's probably, you know, might be the league MVP in my opinion, and not having him out there hurt. You know, Walla Walla did some things to our offensive line that hurt more probably for the running attack, but, you know, whoever carries the ball tomorrow has got to do their job. And guys up front got to do their job, and that's the way the game works.
Well, the Panthers and the Wildcats have a very good habit, of scoring touchdowns on big plays. Just last week, Wenatchee scored on a 62-yard pass play from Camden Searman to J.J. Jelsey. Eastmont's Austin Popoff scored on runs last week of 88 yards and 56 yards. Scott Devereaux does not think, however, that tonight's game will come down to big plays.
I mean, you always want to limit the big plays. We talk about that, explosive plays, we call them. With Eastmont, they run the ball so well with so many different guys. You know, we want to get them in long yardage. It's really important to win first down this week. And, you know, and for us, we want to keep them off the field. So I don't care if we run the ball for 3 yards a shot. You know, we want to keep their offense off the field and make it a long night for them.
For Wildcat coach Michael Dunn, he knows, hey, both teams have big play potential, but he says the team that plays within itself is the team that has the advantage.
They've been explosive all year. They've got 4 or 5 kids who can take any play to the house at any time. We've probably got 4 or 5 kids that can take any play to the house at any time. And it's really going to be who tempers the mood and is able to play within themselves and not make the critical mistakes and not try to play above and beyond who they are. Just do what they do and be who they are.
How do you prep the guys on it not being too big of a moment for them?
That's something we try week 1. You know, we tell them all season, prepare every game like it's a championship game. You know, so when you get to a championship game, nothing's really different. You've been preparing mentally all season for that. So I can say that till I'm blue in the face, and teenage boys are teenage boys.
In the second half of this program, Eric's complete interviews with Coach Don of Eastmont and Coach Devereaux of the Wenatchee Panthers. That's the back half of the show. Of course, the game is tonight. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. Our pregame show with Eric and Grant, 6:30 right here on the NCW Life channel. One more item of business. Volleyball. The District 6 1B volleyball tournament is today at Quincy High School. The championship between Wilson Creek and Pateros will get underway at 1:30 this afternoon. At the same time, in the secondary gym at Quincy, Antioch will take on Riverside Christian. That's a loser-out game. The loser of Wilson Creek and Pateros will face the winner of Antioch and Riverside Christian for second place at 3:30. And before I forget, you want to see the Wenatchee Wild this weekend or any regular season game throughout the course of their latest campaign? I got 4 ticket vouchers right here. This is an email contest, so email me winner at ncwlife.com. Winner at ncwlife.com. It's one entry per email address. Please, tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, I will put all the names in a hat, draw out one winner. I'll email that person. Again, you can use these any game you want. There's 4 of them. You can use them this weekend for the Penticton series, or you can save them for later on. You can use 2 now and 2 later. It's entirely up to you. Winner at ncwlife.com. I'll give away these wild ticket vouchers coming up tomorrow at 10. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Thursday. The obscure holiday today is Bittersweet Chocolate and Almonds Day. It looks good to me. It's the go-to snack now. I mean, you think, how can that be good for you? It's actually good for you. Of course, you just, you dip and you roll sauteed, roasted, or caramelized almonds, and you put it in melted chocolate, and there you go. Almonds have been consumed by humans since all the way back to ancient times. In fact, when they uncovered King Tut's tomb, they found almonds in it, believe it or not. Now, technically, almonds are actually a drupe. A drupe is a fruit with a fleshy body and a hard seed. Almonds are full of vitamins B and E and all kinds of essential minerals, and you take the almonds and you wrap it in chocolate and you got yourself a party. By the way, wild almonds can kill you. Wild almonds have a whole bunch of cyanide in it, but they warn you that they can kill you because they taste really, really bad. They're extraordinarily bitter. So don't ever eat a wild almond, all right? We want as many viewers as we possibly can. Enjoy bittersweet chocolate with a wild almond today. 32 minutes after the hour. Today in history. All this week, it's about elections, presidential elections specifically. 103 years ago, November 7th, 1916, Woodrow Wilson re-elected as President of the United States. He defeated Charles Evans Hughes. Charles Evans Hughes was a Supreme Court justice who left the bench to run for the presidency. Wilson won the state of New Hampshire, and New Hampshire's 4 electoral votes. He won New Hampshire by 56 votes. That's it, 56 votes. The difference in New Hampshire between Hughes and Woodrow Wilson. When Charles Evans Hughes went to bed on election night, he was convinced he was elected to the presidency. When the late returns from California came in and California went for Wilson, and Wilson therefore won the presidency, a reporter called up Charles Evans Hughes' house and said, "Can I speak to him?" And the person there said, "You can't talk to the president right now, he's busy." And the reporter said, "Well, when he wakes up, tell him he's no longer president." Charles Evans Hughes did not concede the election for another 2 weeks. Woodrow Wilson reelected on this date in 1916. 75 years ago today, FDR was elected to an unprecedented 4th term as president of the United States. He defeated Thomas E. Dewey, of course, thanks to the 22nd Amendment. This cannot happen again. FDR elected for a 4th term on this date in 1944. November 7th, 1972, 47 years ago. Can't win them all. Oh well. Richard Nixon was reelected president. The shenanigans behind the 72 election campaign, we will probably never ever know the full truth, but oh well. And finally, November 7th, 2000, 19 years ago today, there it is. Al Gore elected the 43rd president of the United States. And then he wasn't. And then he was. And then he wasn't. The whole shenanigans of that 2000 election. There you go. George Bush got the gig. Okay. Finally, at 33 minutes after the hour, let's do some birthdays. We lost Billy Graham last year. Billy Graham would have been 101 years old today, the American minister, the most influential preacher of the 20th century. Billy Graham was born in the state 101 years ago. He preached the gospel. It's estimated he preached the gospel to more people in person than anybody else in history. And one of my favorite fun facts about Billy Graham, on more than one occasion, Billy Graham posted bail for Martin Luther King Jr. when Martin Luther King Jr. was arrested many, many times in the 50s and the 60s. Billy Graham had Martin Luther King Jr.'s back. Billy Graham, born in the state 101 years ago. A couple of rockers and rollers. Johnny Rivers is 77 years old today. Bunch of hits in the 60s. Memphis, Secret Agent Man, Poor Side of Town was the #1 hit. Summer Rain, Rockin' Pneumonia, and the Boogie Woogie Flu. Johnny Rivers is 77 years old today. And Joni Mitchell, the Canadian singer-songwriter, inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame back in 1997. Big Yellow Taxi, Free Man in Paris, Help Me. She wrote both sides now. The great Joni Mitchell is 79 years old today. Friendly reminder about Campbell's. Our friends up at Campbell's at Lake Chelan. They got the NCW Life Destination Deal. It's back again. They do this in the spring and they do it in the autumn. And by golly, they're doing it right now for the month of November. The locals discount, and that's not a misprint that you see there, $95 a night. Obviously, the folks at Campbell's have lost their minds. I would seriously take advantage of this destination deal before they finally wake up and go, what are we doing? Booking rooms for $95 a night. Take advantage of it before they figure out what they're doing. Campbell's, $95 a night. You got to prove you're local. Get a hold of Campbell. Say, hey, I live in North Central Washington. I want a weekend getaway with my significant other or my friends. We want to get together, do some wine tasting, chill at Campbell's, avoid the crowd. Get a hold of Campbell's. They'll take care of you. And don't forget, you can book your holiday parties at Campbell's, too. Get that done. Campbell's at Lake Chelan since 1901. All right, it's Thursday. Mike McNally's opinions on the way, plus Eric's conversation with both coaches of the Wenatchee and Eastmont football programs are coming up. But first things first, Shasta the dog needs a home. Kennel Cameos with Megan McPherson.
Hey guys, Megan here with the NCW Life Channel. We're here with Jenny, the volunteer coordinator at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and Shasta is joining us this week. She's a little shy. Tell us about Shasta.
Yeah, Shasta is about 5 years old. She's a super sweet girl once you get to know her. Takes a little bit at first, and she's pretty timid at first, but she's come a long way since she's arrived at the shelter this summer. She is our playgroup star. We haven't found a dog that she doesn't like, so we think she gets along basically with any type of dog, female, male. She lived with female Chihuahuas in her previous home, so yeah, she's just super, super sweet once you get to know her. You just have to take a little time to get to know her, and she's a little timid at first. But once you do, she's very affectionate.
What should someone do if they want to adopt Shasta?
They should come on down and meet Shasta at the shelter. She's ready to go today. She did have a little sunburn when she came in on her nose. That's been healing up pretty nicely. So other than that, she's ready to go.
The Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is located at 1474 South Wenatchee Avenue and is open Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org. This has been Kennel Cameos at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society.
I have a hereditary bone disease from the female side of my family. My bone loss was so significant that you could almost see the roots. I became embarrassed and I started covering my mouth. Eating became very difficult as far as I stopped eating apples, corn on the cob, things that you just eat as it is without utensils. Dr. Divis was my dentist prior to having implants. We talked about traditional dentures or implants, and implants was the only way really that I could go. John Divis and all of his office staff, they checked on me throughout all the processes. I would never go anyplace else. Today, I can eat corn on the cob. I can have apples. Thanks to Dr. John Divis and his staff, I have my smile back. I feel more confident. I am me again.
This is John Divis. Let our team help you solve your dental needs.
Sorrento's restaurant at Chelan Cellars provides a unique dining experience. The dining room provides a spectacular view of the Lake Chelan Valley. Lunch and dinner are served daily, and the weekend brunch is something that must be experienced and won't soon be forgotten. From the menu to the music, nothing is overlooked. At Sorrento's, you will always be impressed, especially when you discover how close and how affordable luxury can be. It's all within your reach at Sorrento's at Chelan Cellars.
They may not be from you, but they're a part of your family. For many reasons, not all children are being raised by their parents. Are you a family member who has stepped in to help raise grandchildren, nieces, or nephews? Whether court-ordered or not, Aging and Adult Care may be able to assist you with many needs. Kinship Care helps keep family and community ties together. Learn more about Kinship Care by contacting Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington, working together for a better quality of life for all.
How do you know when it's time to go to Boswell's Furniture? When you know the look you love, the colors you want, but need a little design help to bring it all together. With Boswell's complimentary design service, Glenn, Buffy, and Teresa guide you until your vision becomes reality. More styles, more fabrics, and more choices of quality home furnishings fill Boswell's expansive 2-story showroom so you can see it and feel it before you buy. Come into Boswell's and explore the endless possibilities of home furnishings. Boswell's on Easy Street. It's closer than you think.
Badger Mountain Brewing is proud to announce the grand opening of our new kitchen. Come try out our new menu featuring fabulous steaks, prime rib, gourmet burgers, and seafood grilled up by experienced meat master, Chef Galen Goodman. To complement your mouth-watering meal, Badger Mountain Brewing features 14 in-house crafted beers, an alcohol-free root beer infused with 11 different herbs and spices, 3 different ciders, and a great wine selection. Don't miss out on the best meats and the best brews down at Badger Mountain Brewing.
Located at 1 Orondo Avenue across the tracks from the Pybus Market.
AC Checker has new owners who put customer service first. When you have to get there on time, call fast, friendly, reliable AC Checker, 663-TAXI. AC Checker has the industry's only on-time or it's free guarantee. Conditions apply. Call AC Checker, 663-TAXI to schedule your cab or schedule online at acchecker.com. Call American Classic Taxi, 663-TAXI. That's 663-8294.
Some jobs are a calling. They call on something higher, something deeper, and a commitment to country that never dies. At Gisa Credit Union, we help you support local veterans. With every purchase you make with a Gisa Local Heroes Affinity debit card, we make a donation to select veterans organizations. After all, we can never repay them, but we can do our best to help a little with the Gisa Veterans Affinity debit card.
Hello, Wenatchee Valley, from the staff at Collins Fashions. Christy, Heidi, Georgia, Julene, Judy, and I, we are your Brighton headquarters for the Valley, and we are here to assist you with your personal and gift-giving needs of jewelry, handbags, sunglasses, etc. We carry your favorite brands such as Tommy Bahama, Karen Kane, Tribal, Jag, Nick and Zoe, Joseph Ribkop, foundations from Spanx and Shapies, cute, comfortable shoes and sandals. Our staff will style you head to toe at Collins, where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee.
Hey, this is Mike, Mad Dog Magnati, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, recently at a vacation house we were renting, my grandson, he broke a lamp. Well, it was an expensive lamp. I had to pay $100 to replace the doggone thing. I figured, well, no big deal, stuff happens. But then I realized the huge difference in reaction I would have had if my son Tony had broken the lamp. Had Tony been the culprit, I would have been angry and upset. A much different emotional reaction than I had when it was my grandson. But it's not that I love my grandson more than I do my son. They're both great human beings. And maybe I'm just older, and sometimes that just explains the varying emotional reactions I have to my grandkids opposed to those I felt with my kids. But whatever it is, grandkids are just different than your kids. Yeah, they are. This is Mike, Mad Dog Magnati, and that's my opinion.
Hi, I'm Ricardo, and this is Amanda, and we are from Impact Auto Sales.
Where you can expect a hassle-free car buying experience. With our wide selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs, let one of our friendly sales staff help you find the vehicle that fits your lifestyle. We have financing available for all credit types and great low rates for first-time buyers. Call us today at 888-8000 or stop by 3522 State Highway 97A in Wenatchee. Impact Auto Sales, where we strive to make an impact on your life and not your wallet.
Why run all over town when you can get the financial services you need under one roof? The location is 521 Chelan Street right here in Wenatchee. Accounting solutions for success. Insurance from trusted choices. Real estate, the power of the edge. Personal, professional, preferable. It's all right here. Get the edge on your financial needs. Now available in Chelan as well. Get more information at augustedge.com.
Talking with Michael Don, head coach for Eastmont. Well, Coach, here we are. The week is here. How goes the preparation?
It's good. We're just having fun out here, trying to get ready. Not changing a lot. We still do what we do. And, practice is same length, same time. The only thing we did is move practice up in time because it gets dark early and we don't have lights out here. So we're trying to get practice done before it gets dark and go in and have our meetings after practice.
Was there a temptation this week at all to turn the lights on and practice on the field?
No. Not really. We try to keep our field as nice as possible. Really, nobody practices on it ever. It's not touched outside of games for any sport. So Wasn't even a thought process for us to go out there. And, we just have to be efficient with our practice time, and that's what we're trying to do this week is keep doing what we do as far as efficiency. We practice fast, not a lot of talking, and just try to get a lot of reps in and make sure that we're being as efficient as possible. I said efficient about 4 times there, but trying to do that as well as we can and just get through practice and keep working.
Nate Blauman didn't play for him last week. I don't know if he's a question mark for this week. He seems to be the center peg of their offense. What's your preparations?
Prepare. Like, we're just watching Wenatchee film, getting ready. I hope he plays. You never want to see a team have to play without one of their studs, and I hope we get the opportunity to play against him. He's a great running back. He's done an amazing job for them. You can see the difference in who they are when he's in and not in. He's a difference maker. He's a special kid. You don't get a lot of kids that are as big and smooth as him. He's just got a knack of not getting hit hard. And we're excited for the opportunity to play against them. It's 2 of the best teams in our league. And, we had a slip up early in the year, so it makes this game worth a lot more for us.
Sermon, when he gets pressure, just like any quarterback really in the Big Nine, he makes some mistakes along the way. Is that kind of your key up front defensively?
Yeah, we're always trying to get pressure on the quarterback, so we just got to make sure we're getting upfield with our DNs and making sure they get pressure on there. But at the end of the day, if he beats us, he beats us, but you got to slow down Blauman. That offense is gone as he's gone. When they score a lot of points, he's rushing for 200 yards. And that's kind of where they're making their bread and butter and off play actions. They're not necessarily a straight drop back and, throw it without any play fakes. They love play action just like us. They just do it more often than we do.
This seems like it could be a game of big plays or those that limit the big plays. Is that true?
Oh, very much so. They've been explosive all year. They've got 4 or 5 kids who can take any play to the house at any time. We've probably got 4 or 5 kids that can take any play to the house at any time. And it's really going to be who tempers the mood and is able to play within themselves and not make the critical mistakes and not try to play above and beyond who they are. Just do what they do and be who they are.
How do you prep your kids for that? It's the Cross River rivalry. It's the Bridge of Sportsmanship. You got to win to force that playoff on Saturday. How do you keep the kids just focused on one play at a time?
We try not to change who we are as coaches. We're trying not to do anything different this week as far as our preparation goes. Obviously the kids are excited enough as it is to be able to play the crosstown rival in a game that means a lot. And it's been really fun for them because, 5 years ago, it was, we're playing Wenatchee. We don't beat Wenatchee. And now this is going to be a great game. Eastmont Wenatchee, that's the game people are looking forward to. I don't know if that's happened very often before the last few years, and now it's kind of becoming the premier game in the Big Nine every year. And that's exciting to see. That's exciting for our valley, and that's what people want to watch. We're not out here doing a bunch of new stuff as coaches. We're not changing who we are. We're not trying to be more excited. We're not trying to be more intense. We're just being who we are and letting our kids have fun like they always do.
It's been a long season. You've lost a couple of guys along the way on the offensive line. How are you health-wise, otherwise, heading into this one?
Other than that, we got guys back this week. We sat a couple guys last week against Moses Lake off our defense, and they're both back. We got Chance Garcia and Caleb Thomas coming back into the starting lineup, so that'll be a huge for us as we're able to get guys back into natural positions. We played Wesley out of position. We played Max out of position quite a bit, just filling spots. And with those guys back, it allows us to do what we do more often and just get into our base packages.
Bottom line it, what's going to make it a game where you're afterwards soaking wet because the team doused you with the Kool-Aid jug?
Take care of the football and limit big plays. Take care of the football and limit big plays. I think we'll be okay.
I'm Jake Carpenter, Vice President of Investor Relations for Equilus Group Incorporated and Equilus Capital Partners. We deliver solutions to challenges like how to use your retirement accounts to safely access income-producing real estate to avoid market risk, and how to defer capital gains tax without using a 1031 exchange. Discover your real estate and investment potential at Equilus. Call me today at 509-460-8700.
My awesome is being able to share my passion for yoga. I found yoga in my mid-40s to help me kind of de-stress and calm down, and it actually changed my life. Washington Trust believed in me. I felt like, okay, they got my back. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna go for it. It actually makes you feel like more brave. I do have a lot of awesome in my life.
What's your awesome? Whatever it is, we'll help you get there.
Getting ready for the Bridge of Sportsmanship along with Scott Devereaux. I'm Eric Granstrom. Well, Coach, the week is here finally. You can stop thinking about trying to keep kids from looking ahead. Yeah. It's now.
Yeah, here it is. It's the last regular season game like it's been for a while, and it's boiled down to what it should be last game of the season. Not only the trophy for the Bridge game, but for a league title on the line.
It's weird how this is completely reversed from last year, where you're on your home turf trying to force playoff. That's what they have in front of them. I know you already share the league championship no matter what, but I'm sure you'd like to just win it flat out and be that number one seed.
Yeah, absolutely. That's our goal. Win out, no playoff game on Saturday, and find out Sunday who we play in the first round of the playoffs.
So the big question that's looming for everybody around the valley is Nate Blauman. How is he, and is he going to be able to go?
We'll find out a little more today. He practiced a little bit yesterday, but he wasn't full speed. So, it might be a game time decision.
What exactly happened, or do you know what happened?
I know what happened. Yeah, I know what happened. He strained his hamstring, and, he couldn't play Friday. It happened on Thursday, and he's come along pretty well in the rehab.
I know you used Jax, you used Ty a little bit in the backfield on Friday night at Walla Walla. Your team looks a lot different without Nate back there, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's probably, might be the league MVP in my opinion, and not having him out there hurt. Walla Walla did some things to our offensive line that hurt more probably for the running attack, but whoever carries the ball tomorrow's got to do their job. And the guys up front got to do their job, and that's the way the game works.
I don't know how much Eastmont cues off of what Walla Walla did on Friday, but I saw a lot of blue jerseys in your backfield last week.
Yeah, it was a mess. It was not fun to watch, and our guys just were not mentally prepared. It's basic stuff that we ran all season. We couldn't block it right, and hopefully that definitely changes.
Well, even with that, though, and despite a couple of big turnovers, including one that was returned for a touchdown, you guys had a chance right down the stretch there.
Oh, we did. Yeah, we made plenty of mistakes. Still in that game, had a chance to win it. But we didn't play Panther football that week.
So this game, to me, both teams are capable of the big plays. So is that it as far as this game? Limit the big plays?
No, I don't think so. You always want to limit the big plays. We talk about that, explosive plays, we call them. With Eastmont, they run the ball so well with so many different guys. We want to get them in long yardage. It's really important to win first down this week. And for us, we want to keep them off the field. So I don't care if we run the ball for 3 yards a shot. We want to keep their offense off the field and make it a long night for them.
How do you prep the guys on it not being too big of a moment for them?
That's something we try week one. We tell them all season, prepare every game like it's a championship game. So when you get to a championship game, nothing's really different. You've been preparing mentally all season for that. So I can say that till I'm blue in the face, and teenage boys are teenage boys, and we've had a pretty good week of practice. And so hopefully that just rolls right into game night.
We saw this game last year come down to special teams and a field goal kick. You had your field goal kicker and kicker for kickoffs doing your punts last week with Blauman out. Is that kind of the scenario for tonight?
Yeah. Cesar did a good job. He averaged 38 yards a punt last week for his first game doing it. So Nate has been fired as punter.
Do you think about Saturday at all, or is it all about this one here? Let's get it done.
It's all about Thursday night, and if things don't go the way we want, then we'll worry about Saturday. But right now, the focus is to play our best game Thursday, and put them away.
Well, best of luck here tonight. Keep everybody healthy. We'll talk to you afterwards.
Thank you.
My name is Brian Thorpe. I own Global Car Care in Wenatchee and have been here for about 25 years.
Brian started Global Car Care as Brian's automotive alternative on Orondo Street.
Some customers were following Brian since Brian's automotive time.
No, we're just grateful to be part of this community. This is where I grew up. We want to do our part to be a valuable part of this community. We want to thank you for trusting our business for 25 years.
Campfire North Central Washington, serving youth ages 3 to 18. Register today in one of Campfire's programs. Club members meet regularly with volunteer leaders to learn responsibility, sharing, cooperation, and citizenship. When a child is involved in Campfire, they will be actively learning and engaged in activities, encouraged to learn new skills, feel a part of the group, learn to work in a team setting, participate in planning, goal setting, and making lasting memories.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
The Cottage Inn has been a Wenatchee Valley landmark since 1940, making it one of the longest-running locally owned restaurants around. And it's better than ever. Steak, seafood, and their famous homemade desserts for dinner, wonderful lunch items, and breakfast on Sundays, all made from scratch and at an affordable price. It's no wonder the Cottage Inn has been so popular for over 75 years. Enjoy a fabulous meal today at the Cottage Inn on Easy Street in Old Station.
And we're back. Going to wrap up the program where we began the program. That all-important weather forecast from the National Weather Service, courtesy of our friends at Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. That high-pressure ridge is still there. That means we're going to see at least 2 more days of dry and stable conditions, no real wind. And because we don't have any real wind and no real something out there to mix up the atmosphere, we still have that air stagnation advisory. It's been in effect pretty much all week. It's been in effect for almost like 6-7 days now. Again, the lid is on, so there's no place for those pollutants to go. Is it going to get real bad? We hope not. But again, the air stagnation advisory remains in effect until noon tomorrow. It could even be extended into the weekend. There is a weak weather disturbance that's going to come in over the weekend. Is that going to be enough to stir up the atmosphere and clean out the gunk in the air? We hope so, anyway. So the big difference you'll notice over the weekend, we are going to cloud up. Sun's going to finally be taking some time off after this gorgeous stretch of weather. But the flip side of that is it's going to be a little bit warmer. We're going to top off at about 55 degrees on Saturday. Overnight lows will be considerably warmer than normal, with the cloud cover holding the heat in for the Wenatchee Valley. So lots of sunshine today and tomorrow. We'll top off just about 50, 51, maybe even 52 today and tomorrow. Overnight lows quite chilly. And again, for the weekend, we warm up, we cloud up. Not bad at all. Next chance of any kind of rain, by the way, going to be Veterans Day evening, Monday evening. We got about a 20% chance of rain. I don't think it's going to happen at all. The high-pressure ridge is eventually going to start breaking down and moving out of position, but it has been running our weather for the last, almost 10 days now. We've had some pretty sunny weather, pretty cool weather. That's going to change eventually, but for the time being, get used to more sunny and stable conditions for the Wenatchee Valley for the next couple of days. My guest tomorrow, it is Friday, and the Wenatchee Wild have a home series. In fact, it's not just any home series. The Penticton Bees are in town. They are the Wenatchee Wild's big rival from the Interior Division. The Bees will be in town on Friday night and Saturday night. And we went down to the Town Toyota Center, and we had a nice conversation with Trevor Grabel. Trevor is one of the top defensemen in the British Columbia Hockey League, and luckily he plays for the Wenatchee Wild. My conversation with Trevor and Chris Clark, the assistant coach of the Wenatchee Wild. I'll have that for you tomorrow on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, plus highlights of the Bridge of Sportsmanship game. Have a great Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.